Good morning. It's March 3rd, and we're going to go over some stocks that are doing rather well. This is metaphorical insights into biopharmaceutical stocks. So, one thing I want to say is this is a highly speculative area. Um, Most of these stocks do not have PE value, and many of them don't have proven products. Some of them do on the out in the marketplace, and some of them are just completing clinical trials, and so there's a speculation there. However, I do want to point out that my portfolio is not 100% biopharma. It's about 75% over the weekend. I calculated be in the neighborhood of 75%. And then I look back over the last few days, and February 28th, S&P was down 0.176%. My portfolio overall was down 0.059. On March 1st, S&P was down 0.303%. I was up 0.038%. March 2nd, S&P down 1.06%. I was up 0.47%. And March 3rd, Friday, when things were really good all over, S&P was up 1.61%. I was up 3.6%. And like I said, it's 75% biopharma. My other stocks are not gangbusters. And some Apple, some Alibaba, things just plodding along. So if you use your intelligence, I think you can do better than the S&P. There's some statistic I'm going to have to research that shows the majority of stockbrokers do worse than the S&P. So I'm going to keep track, hopefully on a weekly basis, of what I'm doing compared to the S&P, and we'll see how that goes. It's anybody's guess. So what's happening? I want to talk about today IPOs. This week there's not really any significant IPOs. There's one, I think it's NAV, but it's more one that runs doctor's offices, and they're looking to expand. So I didn't really explore that. It's really hard to get an estimate of what their future is going to be, so I left that alone. I do want to talk about an IPO that came out, Mineralis, came out February 10th. MLYS is the ticker number. Supposedly it was to come out at 16, but I think it actually came out at 20. And what we saw was it dropped down to $18 pretty fast, and it stayed flatline for a while. I think a lot of people got out of that point thinking nothing was going to happen. But now, March 3rd, it's up to $19.14, and I think it's going to continue to go on. One of the things that I liked about it when I did some research, I can pull this up, is about the advisory council. So on the advisory council we have Anand Val, I apologize for my pronunciation, Anand Valya. He's Division of Endocrinology, Diabetes and Hypertension at Harvard Medical School. James Matthew Luther, physician, Associate Professor of Medicine and Pharmacology Director at Vanderbilt Hypertension Clinic. And Matt Weir, Professor of Medicine, Chief of the Division of Nephrology, Department of Medicine, University of Maryland School of Medicine. And not to leave out Joseph Lascalzo, Senior Physician, Brigham and Women's Hospital, Head of the Department of Medicine. I hope I'm not stepping on any toes by bringing their names out, but that's a pretty impressive board, and this is the company that is working on their antihypertensive medicine. So I think they've got a really strong backing there. and it might be worth looking into. Uh, Another thing I talked about in the past week was TJ Therapeutics. They're the ones who had come out with the medication to help patients with multiple sclerosis and would have relapsing episodes, and there was really nothing on the market. Uh, they their stock went way up even before it was on the market, just on approval. Went down to $15 and something, and I said that would be a good time to buy the dip. And now they're up to $17.17, and every reason to think they could go up easily another dollar. So um, we talked about one new one is Guardant Health. I had talked about that, and their ticker number is GH. By the way, Traver Health is TVTX. Guardant Health, GH ticker symbol. So the recent thing for them is they got coverage from United Healthcare for their lab test, and that's again one of the things, 4 or 5 areas where you can really see the stock zoom up. IPOs, especially if you have a product, you've passed clinical trials, especially a phase 3 clinical trial. You're getting some good press that can boost you up. And then there's another thing, and a stock I want to bring up, I haven't brought up before. It's Morphic Holdings. Morphic Holdings, let me see if I can pull up their ticker. Morphic Holdings, well, their drug is MORF-057, and Morphic Holdings is coming out with this medication that is somewhat otherworldly. MORF is their ticker number. So it's Integon, and what it does is appears to bind. It adheres to the receptor, and the bottom line, it's for diseases like ulcerative colitis, irritable bowel disease, where there's inflammatory processes, and it blocks certain inflammatory molecules from entering into the cell. So that's not even been proved. I think it's right now in clinical phase 2, and it's got a really good uptrend. So that might be something to look into. I don't talk about options. I'm not really into playing the option game, but I will say that stock that I'm getting rid of is Gracell Therapeutics, GRCL. They've been on a downward trend for a long time, and I don't see any future there. So I think we covered a few things today. Again, be coming a few times a week, and hopefully there's a subscribe button I should be showing all the time, and I ask you to hit the subscribe button and give me a like, and hopefully you got something out of this. And again, I may own any or none or all of the above stocks mentioned. I'm not giving any stock advice. Use your own due diligence. All these are very speculative stocks, and you invest at your own risk, and I wish you good luck. Bye.